Have you ever wondered what could happen if the simmering tensions between China and the Philippines escalate into a full-blown military conflict? The West Philippine Sea, a hotbed of territorial disputes and power plays, is at the heart of this potential conflict. This isn't just a small piece of water we're talking about. It's a region of immense strategic and economic significance, coveted by many yet claimed by few. China's assertiveness in these waters, however, has been met with growing resistance from the Philippines, leading to a precarious state of affairs. It's a high-stakes chess game, with every move carrying potential implications that could reverberate across the globe. So consider this. What if the board tips? What if this tension escalates to a point of no return? So what could be the potential consequences for China's military if a war were to break out? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into these pressing questions. Firstly, we have to understand China's military might. China's armed forces are colossal, among the largest in the world. Their military personnel count is staggering, with an estimated 2 million active troops. That's a force larger than some countries' entire population, but size isn't everything. Technology is equally as critical. China has been pouring resources into modernizing its military technology. They've developed advanced weaponry, state-of-the-art aircraft, and sophisticated naval vessels. From stealth jets to hypersonic missiles, China's arsenal is nothing to scoff at. In the realm of naval forces, China has been making waves. Their fleet is rapidly expanding with submarines, surface ships, and aircraft carriers that can project power far beyond their shores. Their naval prowess is a testament to their focus on maritime dominance. On the aerial front, China's Air Force is a formidable presence. Their aircraft fleet boasts modern fighters, bombers, and drones. These are not just instruments of war, but also of surveillance and reconnaissance, providing a bird's-eye view of potential battlegrounds. China's military prowess isn't limited to traditional warfare. They've made significant strides in cyber warfare, developing capabilities to disrupt and disable adversaries' systems. This new frontier of warfare is just as critical, if not more so, than traditional battlefields. And then there's the nuclear factor. China is one of the few countries in the world with a nuclear arsenal. This capability offers a deterrent effect, making any potential aggressor think twice before engaging. So, with this vast military, advanced technology, and nuclear capabilities, China appears to be a formidable force. They've built an impressive military machine, able to defend their interests, project power, and deter adversaries. Despite this formidable power, why would China's military still be in danger if conflict arose? Well, as we'll see, there are factors beyond sheer military might that come into play when assessing the potential outcome of a conflict. But that's a story for another scene. The answer lies in the geographical advantage of the Philippines. You see, geography plays a significant role in military strategy, and the Philippines, in this case, has a prime location. Nestled in the heart of Southeast Asia, this archipelago of over 7,000 islands is strategically positioned near the disputed waters of the West Philippine Sea. This proximity gives the Philippines a distinct advantage. In a potential conflict scenario, control of these islands could provide a launch point for operations or a barrier to enemy advancement. This is a classic example of the military principle of defender's advantage, where the defending force, due to their familiarity with the terrain and shorter supply lines, has an advantage over an attacking force. Speaking of supply lines, it's worth mentioning that maintaining these over long distances is a complex and challenging task. It's not just about getting troops and equipment to the front lines, but also about keeping them supplied with food, fuel, and ammunition. Any disruption to these supply lines can have severe consequences for a military operation. Now imagine the vast expanse of ocean that separates China from the Philippines. This distance presents a logistical challenge for China, as it would need to maintain long supply lines across potentially hostile waters. If the Philippines could disrupt these, it would put significant strain on China's military operations. Furthermore, the Philippines' geography complicates any potential invasion plans. The country's archipelagic nature means that an invading force would need to secure not just one piece of land, but countless islands scattered across a wide area. This is a daunting task that would stretch any military to its limits. But geography isn't the only factor at play here. The Philippines also has the advantage of being surrounded by allies, many of whom have vested interests in maintaining the balance of power in the region. Any aggression against the Philippines could potentially draw these allies into the conflict, further complicating matters for China. But what about the Philippines' own military capabilities? Well, stick around, as we are about to delve into that in the next scene. While the Philippines may not match China in terms of military strength, it has something else up its sleeve. The Philippines, despite being a smaller nation, has a military force that is not to be underestimated. Its armed forces, while not as large as China's, are well-trained, dedicated, and possess a deep understanding of their homeland's unique geography. They're like the tenacious boxer in the ring, undeterred by the size of the opponent, relying on wit, agility, and a solid right hook. But remember, in the global arena, it's not just about your own strength, but also the allies who have your back. And the Philippines has some heavyweight friends, in particular the United States, with whom the Philippines shares a mutual defense treaty. This treaty, in place since the 1950s, stipulates that both nations would support each other if either one were to be attacked by an external party. In practical terms, this means the military might of the United States could be brought to bear in the event of a conflict. More recently, the Philippines has been strengthening its ties with other nations such as Australia and Japan, both of which are significant military powers in the Pacific region. These partnerships not only provide a boost to the Philippines' military capabilities, but also serve to deter potential aggressors. Furthermore, the Philippines is a member of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, a collective that promotes regional stability. While not a military alliance, ASEAN does provide a platform for diplomatic resolutions and collective responses to regional threats. This network of alliances greatly amplifies the Philippines' military capabilities. It's not just about the size of the army, it's about the strength of the bond between allies. In a potential conflict, these alliances could tip the balance, turning a David versus Goliath scenario into a much more balanced fight. So could these factors really put China's military in danger? Let's delve into the potential outcomes if a war were to erupt. The scenarios that could play out are as varied as they are complex. For instance, international intervention could dramatically shift the balance of power. Global powers such as the United States, Russia, or the European Union could step in to mediate, or worse, take sides. This intervention could alter the geopolitical landscape significantly. The economic impacts would also be profound. A conflict between China and the Philippines could disrupt trade routes in the South China Sea, one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. This disruption could lead to a spike in global shipping costs, affecting economies worldwide. And let's not forget about the potential damage to the economies of China and the Philippines themselves. War is expensive, and the financial burden could be crippling. And then there's the human cost. War inevitably leads to a humanitarian crisis. Thousands, if not millions of people could be displaced, leading to a refugee situation that the region and the world may not be prepared to handle. The loss of life and infrastructure would be immeasurable. But what does this mean for China's military? Well, despite their current might, they could find themselves stretched thin. A war on multiple fronts, dealing with international intervention and managing their own internal affairs can prove to be a Herculean task. Plus, the potential loss of life within the military could be significant. This could lead to a decrease in morale and a potential shift in regional power. And let's not forget about the potential for a shift in alliances. Countries that were previously neutral or friendly might reconsider their stance based on the actions taken during the conflict. This could lead to new alliances being formed and old ones being broken, further impacting the balance of power. While we can only speculate, it's clear that a conflict in the West Philippine Sea would have far-reaching consequences. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.